Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Midlife Crisis with your hosts,
Ashley
and Tracy.
Today we are going to be talking about skincare and anti-aging, and we have a special guest joining us. This is Paige. She is a licensed esthetician. She offers a lot of different services as far as maintenance, anti-aging, those types of things. She's going to help give us some insight on some of the things that we're experiencing as we age and remedies for those. Be sure you follow her on Skin by Paige. What is it?
Skin by _ Paige.
Skin by _ Paige on Instagram to check out her services and specials. Welcome, Paige.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Excited to talk today about skincare and anti-aging. I know it's something that it's on everybody's mind.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to navigate through their midlife years, and figure out perhaps what's best for them as far as perhaps, procedures or facials or products or even hacks of home remedies that helps,
Right.
anti-aging and moisture and elasticity and those types of things for your skin. We had talked before about menopause and how estrogen, women lose their estrogen during these years, but there are some natural foods that help bring that back into your body, which is also good for skin elasticity and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things. And I feel like a lot of it comes down to being willing to put in the effort for prevent it, because you can prevent aging and then you can fix aging, and fixing aging is a lot more expensive than if you
And harder, I'm sure.
prevent it.
Yeah.
But you also have to be willing to, it is an expensive journey. Like skincare industry it's not a myth when they say like these products work, these don't. Some really are better, and you have to be willing to put in the money to see the results, but they definitely work.
And I think I mentioned earlier when we were talking, a lot of it is trial and error, because nobody has the same skin.
Nope, exactly.
Everyone's going to react to products and services differently.
Yep.
So like you said, it can be very expensive finding what works for you. So you have to be, if you're really truly dedicated to fixing or maintaining or preventing, you do have to be willing to spend money.
And the money is for like the most extreme cases too. If you are just have the normal fine lines and wrinkles and like what you're supposed to have at your age too, that's normal. And it's not as expensive to fix as then like the really saggy skin, all the sunspots, all of that stuff is much more
damage.
Yes.
Because damage we all do.
80% of aging comes from the sun.
Yeah.
Like no matter what people say, 80% of your skin aging will come from the sun. So that's why I always say sunscreen and reapply sunscreen. Also to use broad spectrum. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
UVA and UVB.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I wasn't 100% sure when you said broad
so that goes
spectrum,
against burning and aging.
Okay.
We learned in school it was like UVB is for burning, UVA is for aging. So if it's broad spectrum, it'll go against both of those things.
Okay.
Interesting.
And what SPF should we be using on our face and chest?
So 30. Anything above 30 really doesn't make a difference.
I heard that before too.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's just wasting money. It's like false advertising.
Yes, it is. And the difference between 15 and 30 is only 3% too. So 15 isn't that much. It's not half. It's not like you're getting double the protection with 30. It's only a 3% difference between the two. So I always say go for the ingredients and what type of sunscreen it is more so than the UV protection that it offers you.
And what ingredients should we try to avoid?
So there's two different types of sunscreen. There's mineral and chemical.
Okay.
I always say to go with the mineral sunscreen. It doesn't have as harsh products. And you can read the back, and if it has like a ton of things that you don't know how to pronounce, it's chemical. If it has like zinc in it, it's probably mineral. And chemical, the sun UVs will penetrate into your skin, but then like reflect off, or it pushes it out. But the mineral sunscreen, it just bounces right off your face.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you have a particular brand or product that you would recommend that's maybe something over the counter that everyone can use? I know, especially for those of us who live here in Phoenix, where pretty much
You have to put it on the
11 months
grocery
out of
store.
the year, you have to use some kind of protection.
Yes.
So,
I've seen girls that wear gloves when they're driving to protect
Oh
their
my
hands from the
gosh.
sun. I'm like, that's so much work. I get it. I get why they do it, but like, I'm not putting on gloves every time I go to drive.
right.
So I could have prevented these age spots with gloves.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I always say too, if you don't,
or even sunscreen. Maybe.
yes, because if
Versus
there are some
baby
people
oil.
that don't believe in sunscreen, which is fine. Whatever you believe in is whatever. But if you don't believe in it, that's fine. But then try to stay out of the sun as much as you can.
Right.
Like, don't lay out and bask in the sun if you're not going to use sunscreen.
Right.
And see, I unfortunately am allergic to any kind of sunscreen. I've tried the chemical kind, I've tried the mineral kind, and my face, my eyes just swell up.
Oh, wow.
My nose starts running, it turns red, you know, like a clown's nose, and my eyes are watering. And I tried everything. So, but I've also always worshipped the sun. So it wasn't until later in life where I even tried to introduce SPF or, you know, any kind of sunscreen into my sunbathing. But I now wear hats.
I do
Or
too.
try to stay out of the sun as much as possible,
Yeah.
so that I can minimize any further damage.
Yeah. that's good.
I do still like to get some color
Yeah.
for when
Yes,
I wear
that's
tank
the
tops
hard
and
part.
shorts. But I will wear a baseball cap or a sun hat to protect my face and chest as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even though the damage is already done, I just don't want to make it even worse.
You can reverse it a little bit with the right products and
Yeah.
stuff. You can reverse it.
Okay, so what are some of the things that we could use to or do
Right.
to
What
reverse
do
it?
you recommend?
So there's a skin. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the skincare products from Skin Better. It's brand that they have. It's really, really good, but it is on the pricier side.
Okay.
But I could also give some like less expensive
Yeah,
options
okay,
too.
perfect.
So the skin brand that I was talking about is called Skin Better. And do you guys use retinol, or do you know what retinol is?
I know what it is. I don't use it. Again, I have very sensitive skin.
Oh, yeah.
So I use Cetaphil on my face, and I also use Meaningful Beauty products. I have been using those Cindy Crawford's products for
nice.
well over a decade, and I love them. But I don't use her lotion because it has a facial lotion because it has SPF in it. So I use Cetaphil on my face as a lotion. So I'll use her melon serum, which I love, and her eye cream, which again I also love. But that's about in the dark spot remover are my favorite products from her line. You can customize it, but those are
that's
the ones that I get on a regular basis. But I use Cetaphil for a face wash and the overall lotion because I have super dry skin and in Arizona with no humidity.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my regimen there. But
Yeah. So I would say always incorporate a retinol into your skin if you're above the age of 25.
Okay.
okay.
That's going to help with cell turnover rate, so it's going to speed it up. So when you're younger and you're a baby, you get cut and it heals it, like not instantly, but you know, a lot quicker than when you're older. As you get older, all of that's slowing down. So what retinol does is go in and helps the cells turn over faster, like when you were younger. So that's always a good thing. And that's vitamin A. So I always say you should start with the retinol. But the type of retinol does matter too. So like if you do, like my sister just sent me a picture this morning and it was, I think it was Neutrogena. And she was like, would this retinol work? And I was like, you can try it. Definitely try it. Like you were saying, trial and error. It's hard. You can try it.
Right.
But with big brands like that aren't medical grade skincare, they throw everything into one big pot. So let's say the big pot has 5% of retinol or whatever the thing is. But then they just scoop it out and put it into each bottle. So that original pot had that much in it. What you're getting in your own little bottle is probably nothing.
Interesting. I did not think about that.
Same thing they do with like cosmetics.
production.
Yeah, with like UV protection in makeup. It'll be in there, but it's the smallest amount because it's what's in the whole thing. And also if you don't put, like think of when you're rubbing sunscreen, you put it all over, you want to get it everywhere. If you're not putting your foundation, like, and you don't want to cake it on like that because it doesn't look good, but that's the only way you'd be able to get the same protection as sunscreen. So I always say you put on sunscreen before makeup always, regardless, even if it does have some in there.
Okay.
But
Good to know.
the retinol, is that what I was talking about?
Yeah. Vitamin A, retinol.
Yeah. So it's a retinoid is what it's called. And it's the product that I'm talking about is called Alpharet, I believe, from Skin Better.
Okay.
Let me find the thing real quick.
Where can we find Skin Better products?
Online, you do have to sign up under an esthetician.
Okay.
But you can literally find anyone on Instagram that's a Skin Better like consultant person and go in, and you don't have to ever actually talk to the person or have a consult with them or at all.
Okay.
You can just go and
sign up under them.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. I didn't realize you could do that.
It's kind of, it reminds me of like the salon stores where you can get certain hair products, but you have to be with a professional, licensed professional to get it.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the Alpharet is from Skin Better, and also the Alto Advanced and Peel Pads. So there's 3 different options. There's a serum, and then pads.
Okay.
The pads also work as an exfoliator. So if you have sensitive skin, I wouldn't go with the pads.
Okay.
And if you do want to start with the pads, I'd start them once a week. That's the other thing with skincare. Always start off gradual. If you get a bunch of skincare, don't try it all at once. Because then it's also hard if something's agitating you, you don't know where it came from. Right. So you often just throw the whole thing away when really maybe it was A, B, and C worked, but it was D, E, and F that didn't work. Okay. So never start with it all away. Always do one thing at a time. And I'd say wait 2 weeks in between every new thing you add in.
Okay.
But for retinol, start with like once or twice a week, because you will start to, your cells are turning over so quickly, your skin may start to flake, and people get freaked out and think that they're drying, which it could be, but it's also because you're using the retinol. So moisturizer, you have to make sure you put it in moisturizer.
So your skin just kind of has to adjust to it.
Yes. Okay. And there's also, I've seen a lot of like horror stories where people start retinol and then they go like these huge breakout phases, but then their skin gets better, and that's the purging process. And there's it's a huge topic within the skincare industry if purging's real or not. Like, is it really true that you purge after you put something on, or is it just that's not right for your skin? Mm-hmm. I've heard mixed things. I've heard that because acne is going to be underneath your skin. So just because you clear what's on the surface, it's coming from underneath the skin. So if you're not figuring what that problem is and clearing that, it's just going to keep coming through. Or if you're putting something on your skin, and then when the stuff that's underneath has to come through before it can be cleared again. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
I love learning this stuff.
Also, I just thought of this too. Like, so if you use the Alpharet and you're using that for anti-aging, and then they have another thing called Even Correct Tone, which is all for like skin, like you were talking about the dark spot corrector. Right. And that works really well. But if you have acne or you have other underlying skin conditions, and then you use this, let's say the Even Tone serum, that may correct your dark spots, but whatever's in it may make your acne or rosacea worse.
Oh,
not saying with that one that is the fact, because I've never heard anything about that,
Yeah.
but it's just possible that if you're using a skincare product for one concern, it may make other ones worse if they don't work together.
Absolutely.
What about, and I don't believe that I have it now, but I have had it in the past, not only on my face but on my body, but the pigmentation.
Hyper-pigmentation.
Right.
Yeah.
Would it work as well for that? Okay, good.
Yep, lighten it. And then you can also have hyperpigmentation or the opposite, which is when you get those little like white spots. Like I know I have some of them on my skin. Yes. And that just happens with age, and it's just the melanin in your skin goes away, and unfortunately with that there is no way to get the color back in. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if any of those that you were just talking about would help in that, but no.
Yeah, because once those little melanin receptors shut off, they're gone.
They're gone.
You can't wake them up again.
No.
Well, there you go. Oh no. Okay.
Well, that's all really interesting. So we talked a lot about protection from the sun and rejuvenating cells and things like that. Some of the other things that come with midlife and menopause, as we talked about, are breakouts, dry skin, a lot of the spots and blemishes, things like that. What are some things that people can do at home on their own, or even services in,
adult
salons?
acne, right?
Yeah.
It's like we never had it when we were a kid. And
I never did. I never had it. And then I turned, I think it was like 22 or 23, and I got such bad hormonal cystic acne for years, and it's just finally going away because I know more about skincare. Yeah, so I've learned like what works for my skin and what doesn't work for my skin.
Okay.
But hormonal acne sucks. And it's obviously your hormones. It's not like you can put a product. Well, you can. There's products out there that you can use that'll work. But sorry, she distracted me.
I was gonna let it keep going.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's fine.
What was I saying? Hormonal acne.
There are products that'll work.
Oh yeah. So there's a Face Reality is what I use right now, and that's to target the underlying problem. So they also have a pill that you take that it rivals Accutane, but it's natural. So like it's nothing like Accutane is extreme, intense.
Right.
This is all normal. I think it's called ClearSkin.
Okay.
Or ClearStem. But so those products are helping to get rid of my acne, but I've also done chemical peels. Those are really good. I've done microneedling sessions to get rid of the scarring.
Right.
Because if you have true scarring, if you have post-inflammatory erythema, that's just like the red marks that you get after you have a pimple or a breakout.
Right.
Or post-inflammatory hyper-pigmentation are the brown marks.
Okay.
Those can both be taken away without microneedling. Chemical peels could do it, products could do it. But if you have actual scarring where the skin's like deformed from it, you need to do microneedling because that's a collagen problem. So unless you get more collagen into that spot, the skin won't come back. Or you could do laser treatments as well.
What does the microneedling actually do to your skin?
So it's a bunch of like little needles that are just causing superficial wounds in your skin, again speeding up the healing process. So it's kind of like the cell turnover rate too.
Right.
But if you have diabetes or something that may cause you to, if you get injured, to heal slower, don't do it or consult a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you see many men that are seeking treatment for acne as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times it's younger guys.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I was in school in the clinic, a lot of teenage boys would come in, or a lot of older men just for like crow's feet, like
Right.
little maintenance things and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not as much
Right.
compared to the
It's
women,
to the women.
but I feel like more men, since skincare is becoming such a big topic, I feel like a lot of men are feeling more comfortable to go in. My dad gets them done.
Does he?
Oh,
And I was
nice.
thinking about my son,
Nice.
who went through a period of perhaps in his early 20s having acne.
Yeah.
And I feel now that it's died down quite a bit,
Yeah.
but he also has a beard, so
Yes.
and a mustache, so now it's harder to tell what's
Yeah.
there. But I was just wondering, that's what made me think. I wonder if men, young men or older men, have, seek
A lot of-
treatment
yeah.
services.
I know their facial hair,
products.
they're lucky.
I know
They
they
can
can
cover,
hide
yeah, half their face can be covered.
I know. So that's interesting that laser will also help with that as well.
There's something called Morpheus 8, which is, I think, relatively new. It's a laser microneedling. So it's microneedling your face, but it's also shooting a laser down into deeper into the skin level it gets rid of excess fat. So like a lot of people do it for underneath their chin or areas like that. So it's microneedling, but like
Yeah, I did
on
hear
steroids.
The chin. I heard about that before.
It's painful.
Oh, it sounds it.
And because it's slow too, they just have to like laser. You've gotten laser hair removal, right?
Laser hair removal.
Yep,
yes.
I've gotten that done
I've
too.
done that too.
Oh yeah, you have.
And then I've done the microneedling one.
Yes,
Okay, I
and so
haven't
that's
done
like
that.
quick. It's just like
Okay.
zip, zip, zip,
Yeah.
zip. This one is like every spot they have to hold it there, zaps, and they pull it apart. Hold it there, zap. So it's like
I
all
don't think I could handle
over
that.
your face.
I need it to go quick.
They give you laughing gas, which I've heard helps.
Oh, okay.
So I would do it with laughing gas, or I've seen some med spas actually do a topical numbing cream.
Oh, right.
But I don't know why they all don't do that.
Yeah.
If it's so painful. My friend got it done. I watched her.
Interesting.
It's intense, but it's really good. The other thing that's kind of a downfall is you need multiple treatments, but that's with
Yeah.
everything, like laser hair
Everything,
removal. I
right.
needed like I think I went through 15 treatments, and I still go back like once or twice a year for my.
Laser hair? Yeah, me too. I need to go now, actually, but I haven't. I don't think I went since COVID, honestly. But I did go back for like a year, actually,
Yeah.
I think, of maintenance. Remember, we talked about it in our
The
previous
facial hair,
episode.
yeah.
Yeah, because then once I hit menopause, like my facial hair went cray-cray.
Yes.
Literally crazy
Yeah,
on me, so I went back for maintenance.
that just reminded me of dermaplaning.
Yes.
Yes.
I always say too, like if you have vellus blonde hair, dermaplaning's great. It's amazing.
me.
It'll take everything off your face. For me, before I did laser hair, actually no, I had already done laser hair removal, but there was still some thick coarse hairs that were coming in on my face, and so dermaplaning was horrible for me because it just took the
that
just
coarse hair.
yes,
Yeah.
and then it's almost like you have like razor burn or the follicle gets clogged even if the pore's not clogged. So I was like constantly having breakouts right here,
yeah.
and I figured out that it was from dermaplaning. So if you're someone with darker, coarser hair on your face, dermaplaning might not be the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of estheticians they're not honest about that. Like they'll just like dermaplane, it's great for everyone. But I'm like, it's really not great for everyone. You have to have the right type of hair on your face for it to work with, or else it's almost like it's not worth
More damaging.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and I haven't had dermaplaning done for a while, and it's interesting that you say that because I have broken capillaries, and so I think probably when it was first introduced, and it was very popular, like I would go in for a facial and they would do dermaplaning or recommend dermaplaning, and then I thought it was interesting that throughout, the years of doing that, I would go to another esthetician and she would say, oh, we can't do dermaplaning because you have broken capillaries. And I was like, what?
And I never mentioned it before.
I've had it done many times, and perhaps that's why it got worse.
Do you know if you did oil planing?
I don't believe so,
because
but I'm not sure.
When I dermaplane Ashley's face, I always use oil because she has some broken capillaries right on her cheeks too, and the oil is so much gentler on the skin. So I just put a little bit of oil on and then dermaplane, and it's not as harsh.
I feel like I would have known if they did that, and I don't believe that they did. But I ended up having dermaplaning done for quite some time, and then I was able to get a cream that helped with my broken capillaries. Do you have any insights of products or things to do for people that have broken capillaries on their face?
For broken capillaries specifically, I don't know too much about. It's probably just laser because
I was told it was just laser.
Yeah, I don't think any serums or products would be able to fix the broken capillaries. There's a lot of products from Glymed. Have you guys ever heard of Glymed?
I have.
They have a CBD oil that's really good for any redness, inflammation. So it could help the redness from the inflamed capillaries. Yeah,
okay.
But without going in with the laser, I don't think there's anything that you can do to permanently fix them.
Is there something that I can do to help prevent them in the future?
It's a good question. I feel like, I'm thinking if it's similar to rosacea.
I was just going to say,
I have that too.
Because it looks very similar.
Yes, it does. And they're in the same spots.
How do you know the difference between the two? If you're experiencing redness, how do you know which it is?
Broken capillaries, you can see. They almost look like veins.
Okay.
Yes. That's broken capillary. If it's
have.
just redness or spots of redness, that's rosacea.
Okay. Actually, I have both. But
I was going to say a lot of people that have one
Yes.
usually have the other. They go hand in hand.
So what can we do about rosacea? Because that's another thing that I've personally experienced, and I know you have too, as we start our midlife aging. Which is that also something that's caused by hormones, or is
it can
just
be.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because I never had it, and
I
then all
never
of a
did
sudden I
either.
had
Knock on wood, I haven't. I don't have the rosacea.
You're
still young.
Yes. But skin. I used to love my skin.
Oh, I used to always get so many
I was in.
compliments on my skin for clear up through my 30s.
Yes.
Always had compliments on my skin.
And then all of a sudden in my face, I've never worn foundation. Usually I would wear mascara. At one point, it's been years ago, but I would do eyeliner. I cut that out of the regimen a long time ago. And
we just get lazier and lazier.
I don't do any of that, so I guess I'm already lazy.
And,
honestly,
lipsticks.
I think a lot of women have stopped wearing so much makeup since the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were stuck at home. There was no need to do the makeup.
Crazy.
Some people went crazy with the makeup and started doing tutorials.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
But I think a lot of women have really cut back because not only is it such a process to do every day when you leave the house, like you said, it's very expensive, and a lot of people,
not good for your skin to be putting all of that on your skin.
And messy. For me, it's messy, and like you said, actually, since the pandemic, truth be told, I no longer even wear mascara now.
Oh, wow.
You can count on one hand how many times I've put makeup on, which is mascara and lipstick, since the pandemic. But when I do now, I feel like it takes me days to actually get it off.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that I used to do it every day,
I know.
and now my eyes look, I really need mascara. I don't have big, beautiful eyelashes.
I have
whatsoever.
Pretty much blonde, short eyelashes.
Oh, I ordered off topic, but I ordered the lash stuff.
I do have fake lashes that I got through my esthetician.
She's gonna
the glue-on kind.
She's gonna do a treatment that curls them.
It's called a lash lift. So it's like a perm for your eyelashes, and and then I'll also dye them too. So if you have blonde, then it'll just be it. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's nice.
It's really nice
because I've had the eyelash extensions. Before.
Yeah,
I've done those
and
too.
I feel like number one, because I am so sensitive, I'm allergic to the glue.
Yep.
So the first time I did it, I was like, is this normal? My eyes swelled up. They were tearing horrifically. They gave me a little dropper of some, eye drop things to put in, and it did help within a day or two. It was great. But honestly, I felt like, and it's expensive to maintain.
And
Yes.
then you have to go so often.
Yeah.
And so often. So I didn't do it. Yeah.
And I feel like it does
And I
ruin
feel
your
like-
lashes.
I was
Yes.
gonna
They always say it
like
doesn't,
they
but I feel like it
broke
does.
off.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. But
Yeah.
okay, so the eyelash lifts. Now I have dark lashes. They're not long. Would that do anything?
Yeah, like mine, I have dark lashes, but mine just stick straight out. So when I curl them every day. Like I heat up my curling, what is that called? An eyelash curler, and then I curl them. But with the lash lift, it just permanently-ish.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 to 6 weeks it'll last. And your eyelashes are just curled. And then if you like go to sleep and you wake up in the morning, some may be down, but if you just curl them with the eyelash curler, it's like you're training them. It's kind of like brow laminations. Have you guys heard of brow laminations?
I have such bushy brows. I don't do that. But yeah.
But it's just like training the hair, so the more you get it done, eventually your hairs would just start to flow. It's like a keratin treatment for your hair. If you have curly hair and you want a straightening treatment, you're just training the hairs to go in a different direction. So this one's just training them to go up.
Yeah. Okay, so some of the other things I wanted to touch base really quick are dry skin and chest and neckline. I've had, some issues with that as I've been experiencing all these changes with my body. What are some things that we can do at home as part of our daily routine to help with that? Or even services? Are there things that we can have done to the chest line or for the dry skin? I know dermaplaning has really helped me with that.
Oh, really? On your neck and
because it
chest as
not
well?
only does it remove hair from your face, it removes that dead skin.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So your products will all penetrate deeper. Like a lot of people get it done because the way their makeup goes on after is so much smoother because all those little hairs are not
Or
getting
even
in the
your
way.
lotions.
Lotion,
I
any
do a
serums.
tinted lotion,
Yep.
so it sits on my face a lot better.
If you're going to use like serums with active ingredients, dermaplaning really helps get those active ingredients deeper into the skin because it doesn't have to fight through any of the hair or dead skin.
Right. And what I learned a long time ago, and I'm a side sleeper, but not to sleep on your side because it creates heavy lines on your chest.
I sleep.
Which is crazy.
I sleep on my like flat on my stomach.
Yeah.
Paige
Well,
does too.
yeah, we can't anymore.
Yeah. I lay there and I'm like,
Once you have a boob job, like stomach sleeping is not an option.
and you know what? It really hurts my lower back.
It is bad. It's like the worst way to
That's
sleep.
true. That's true.
Everyone says it's the
terrible.
worst way to sleep, but it's the only way I can sleep. So.
And I'm a snorer, so I can't sleep on my back. God forbid, anybody in the near
I can
vicinity
sleep on
of
my
the house.
back. I usually don't have a problem with that, but I find
That's good
myself-
for aging, sleeping on your back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're not. Because if you're sleep on your side of your
And
face,
your
you're scrunching,
face,
or like how I
do
sleep
that,
is really
yes.
bad for your
And
skin.
as well as for
Yeah.
your neck and your chest.
I do
So I
find
kind
myself
of have a
when I wake
halfway.
up on my side sometimes. I think sometimes I'll roll. to
They
the
make
side.
pillows for like your chest.
Yes,
I've
yes.
seen them on like QVC and stuff.
Oh,
like when
yes.
you're sleeping.
I've tried the neck pillow,
Yeah.
the leg pillow that you put between your knees.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I've tried all
The
those.
body
I have not
pillows.
tried the breast pillow.
Yeah, and that's supposed. I think it was created for like aging, for
Yes.
like the wrinkles and stuff in your chest. Because I mean, for me, it doesn't. I have a very small chest, so nothing really happens. But if you have a bigger chest, when you lay on your side, the skin will like wrinkle.
Or
go
even
together.
if you just, depending on how you put your arms as well, it just wrinkles up. It just creates, deep crevices. So I'm aware of that. It's not that I always, I never sleep on my side, but I try to not start out that way.
Be conscious of
Yes. Totally
So just like for some tips for that, I'd say whatever you're doing to your face, do to all the way down to right above like your breast area. Cleansing your skin does make a huge difference. I know a lot of people say like, it doesn't really matter if I cleanse at night or in the morning, but over the span of things, if you cleanse once in the morning and twice at night, that's my go-to.
Twice at night.
I know. I'm like twice at night.
I do it twice at night. I usually do it every time, just because if I'm wearing makeup, definitely twice.
Okay.
Because the first cleanse is just going to get the
moving it
makeup.
around.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
just getting the makeup off. The second cleanse is actually cleaning all like the dirt and debris and stuff off. So if you're wearing makeup, always do a double cleanse.
Okay.
I like to do a double cleanse at night just because I usually sweat throughout the day, especially now that it's summer and I just feel gross. And the first cleanse, I just feel like it's like the superficial stuff off, and then the second cleanse just goes deeper. But you know your skin the best too. if you do a double cleanse and it's really irritating to your skin,
too much.
don't do it. You don't have to do these things to have like nice skin. It's just what I like to use. And I also like to use a cleansing balm on my face to my neck if I'm wearing makeup or if I'm doing a double cleanse, because the balm is smoother. And I also do some like what's it called when you massage? Drainage? What's that called? Lymphatic drainage massage. So like with the oil too, I'll do that. So I'll like come down here, get my lymph nodes, come down here, and then like massage it. And you should always push everything towards your heart where you want to end it. So like I'll push up and around on my chin and my neck, but you have to make sure you're always bringing it back down and towards your heart.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. What is the cleansing balm? What is that?
The one that I use is from a skin brand called Comfort Zone. It's usually just like, so you know how cleansers usually is like milky or gel-like? This is more like a balm. Yeah, like a balm. And like you use it, like you warm it up in your hands and then you go on, and then after you start massaging it in, it'll turn to like oil.
Oh.
And then it's just like...
Interesting. And do you do that twice, or you just do that the second time?
No, I just do that the first time.
Oh, the first time. Okay.
And then the second time I'll go with the gentle cleanser.
Okay. Interesting.
And how often do you exfoliate? And you exfoliate your neck and chest as well, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Because I do it all at once, and I probably do it maybe 3 times a week.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 times a week I feel like is the most I would do. You don't want to overdo it.
Okay.
If you have more thicker, oilier skin, or like men naturally have thicker, oilier skin, they could probably do it more often.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'd say start off with once every 3 to 4 days if your skin's fine.
That's about how often I do it.
Yeah, if your skin's fine, you don't notice anything, you can maybe up it to, some people say every other day. I think that's too much because
too much?
you have a skin barrier, and if that's broken or hurt, anything underneath is not going to be fixed. So a lot of people with acne have a damaged skin barrier. So it's working on kind of almost like if you have really bad acne, going back to very, very, very simple stuff, getting your skin barrier, which just means like the correct amount of oil, sebum is being produced, you have hydration in your skin. If that's all good, then you can start working on it.
Okay.
But if you have a lot of redness, dryness, irritation, something's wrong with your skin barrier, which needs to be fixed first.
Okay.
So I might be able to just pump the brakes a little bit on my exfoliation.
Yeah.
Well, and again, the dermaplane is kind of an exfoliator too.
That's an intense
do.
Exfoliator.
I've been doing that every 4 to 6 weeks. I like to do it every 4 weeks if I can. So that's why I don't do the exfoliation as often, because it kind of does that for me once a month. So.
And I'm the exact opposite. And as I mentioned, I don't do the dermaplaning anymore, but as far as, services, you know, it's much less frequent than you do. So I feel like every time I do it, I think I just want my esthetician to know that
I've been doing what I'm supposed to.
They can tell when you go back in. They can tell.
I'm like, oh my gosh, and especially by my nose. Anyways, but so I'll just back off of the.
That's another good thing. I'd say like seeing an esthetician to get a facial once a month if it's something that you can afford, or once every 2 months, however often you can. It's just nice because they'll get extractions for you the right way. You may mess up your skin or do something bad to it. You can get dermaplaning done, which is an exfoliant, but then also an enzyme mask, which is an extra exfoliant. They use probably better products than you're using at home. So just like a maintenance upkeep of once a month, I think is really good. And your esthetician can tell if you're doing home care routine.
Yeah.
They always can. It's very obvious when people don't do it and they're like, yeah, I'm doing it. And you're like, no, you're not.
And I think of that, right? Because I do it when I shower.
It's like when you go get your teeth cleaned.
Yes.
So do you floss every day?
Yeah, twice a day.
Really? Hang on.
Yeah. They're like, everyone's a liar.
Right.
I know. People do. They think that no one can tell. Awesome. Well, I found some really cool hacks, and some that I think are shocking. At least I wasn't aware of it. And the first one that I'm going to mention, my youngest daughter, who still lives at home, does it. And I don't know why. It never even occurred to me that it would be good for you, other than just the touch and feel. But something that is good for your skin and anti-aging is to use a silk pillowcase. You know that? Okay, see, you know that. I never knew that.
Also for your hair, it was curly hair.
And prevent hair breakage.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I sleep with a silk pillowcase actually.
She does too.
Because I have.
It's like it wants to slip out. I'm not comfortable with the
I don't like them
silk
either.
ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's good for curly hair. I have naturally really curly hair.
Oh, okay.
And so it helps it not get as dry and like frizzy and break in the middle of the night. If it's rubbing on silk, it's better than like cotton.
I mean, it makes sense, but it never occurred to me before, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Apply aloe vera gel as a natural moisturizer to keep skin hydrated and plump.
Yes, that's a good one.
I have aloe in my backyard.
Aloe's...
You can't kill it once you start growing aloe.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy. So is that
Yes.
Straight from the plants? Is that good?
Oh, yeah, you could do that. Or if you want to use a moisturizer, too, that has aloe in it, if you have oily skin, that just means that your sebaceous glands are just producing a lot more oil because it's overproducing because it's not your skin doesn't have any hydration in it.
Right.
So people sometimes mistake like, oh, I have oily skin, so I'm not going to use a hydrator or a moisturizer because it breaks me out more.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not true. You do need it. You need to find the right one, and aloe is very good for oily skin too. So that's a good moisturizer if it's in your moisturizer.
Good to know. Facial roller to improve circulation and reduce puffiness.
I do that every morning too.
Marble one?
Yep.
Is it marble?
Yeah, it's like you have like jade or marble ones. I keep it in my freezer, and then in the mornings I'll just do it so it's nice and cold.
I like to do it when my eyes are puffy in the morning. It feels so good too, and it feels really great on my skin.
Yes.
So
Or putting your face in a bowl of ice water for 15 seconds in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
You know what I do sometimes, and especially in the summer, actually either any season works, but in my shower, at the very end of the shower, turn it all to cold.
Yeah, my boyfriend does that. I can't do that.
I try it in my face as well as the front of my back. And most days when I do it is when I feel really sluggish and still tired from waking up, but it's to wake you up and to get it going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
it's
that
really
can
good
help
for you.
on my face as well as...
Also, it'll help with any inflammation, like you were saying, like puffiness or any redness too in the morning that you have, ice or like...
So when I wash most of the time that I wash my face, I mean, obviously I wash it in the shower when I shower, but most of the time when I wash my face, it's in the sink, in the bathroom. And I use living in Arizona, it's your water's never cold.
Yeah, especially not in the summer.
Yeah, but I always use cold water.
Yeah, that's good. It's better.
All year round. Like in the winter, it's a little cooler and it feels better, but I don't even turn the hot on.
Yeah, that'll also damage your skin barrier using super hot water.
I take super long hot showers.
So do I.
So that's
but my
why
face isn't in it. Like when I'm in the shower, I'm not like putting my face in it. It's just like the steam and stuff, which is okay.
Okay, good.
For your
That's
face.
good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay, here's a fun one. Apply a caffeine-infused eye cream to reduce dark circles and under eye.
I was going to say that one if this wasn't on your list, but yeah,
really?
Coffee's really good for under eyes.
Really? So can you buy like a coffee cream or something? Like
you can use actual coffee grounds, like and put them on underneath your eyes.
Would you just get them wet so that they like stick? Okay.
So like
or you can or I'm sure there's a lot of products with it in there too. Yeah. Again, you just have to be careful.
Tea has coffee or
caffeine. Yeah. Just be careful with the brands that you're getting. Marketing sucks. It's always lie. It's always a lie mostly.
Right. So look at the label for
ingredients and like the skin. Get it from a reliable place. I don't like to buy skincare on Amazon just because I've heard a lot of bad things about.
It's not the real thing.
Yeah, or it's like the batches that maybe don't have the correct formulation, so they send them to Amazon to sell, and they're not selling directly from the corporation. Things like that.
Okay,
that's good to know.
But if it says who the seller is and it's the company that's making it, chances are that's true or no?
I want to say no, just because I feel like there's a third party. Yeah, there's always a risk.
Okay.
It's not saying you're for sure going to get something that's not the best. You may be getting the best of the best from that company, but there's a risk of you not getting on Amazon, where if you order directly from the company, you're getting what you're paying for.
Okay. Interesting. Good to know. Amazon's taken over the world. I use it way far too much.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Now, I've known throughout my life a bunch of different sugars and different things to put together for scrubs, but what do you think about honey and cinnamon masks?
I've never heard of that
before. To exfoliate and brighten the skin.
Well, I use a honey mask in my services, so
okay.
Cinnamon is shocking to me because
I feel like that would
something tells me that would not be good for you.
Yeah, it seems like it would be an irritant to the skin.
Interesting. Okay, but honey and cinnamon masks. I mean, I love cinnamon and I love the smell of it, so maybe it's more for aromatherapy than actual skincare. I don't know. I need to try it. And this is something that I've done before, but I've actually received a product through my esthetician, but vitamin C serum.
Vitamin C is very
right.
good for brightening
And
the skin.
hyaluronic acid.
Yep, hyaluronic
Right.
acid.
Huge,
Right.
In fact, they make hair products now that have hyaluronic
Yes,
acid.
yeah.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
Is that L'Oreal or something? Is that, I don't remember which
Well,
product. I
the
guess
one
it is
that the
now.
only one I know about, the only reason I knew that they were doing it is because I actually have a line that I sell that they just launched it and it has hyaluronic, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's of course it's good for your hair. Like it didn't even occur to
Didn't
me.
even
Yeah.
occur to
But
me either.
yeah.
And then a face oil with anti-aging properties such as rosehip and argan oil. Yes? Okay, so you're like, oh yeah, but those are things that are new to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I feel like people should know going into it too, if you're just using all the natural stuff like that, it can work and it probably will work, but it's going to take a longer amount of time than if you're using like the skincare products. So just be patient with it.
Got it. Oh, that's really good to know.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody's looking for the instant results these days,
Always.
right?
Yep, and if they don't
use
get it
once or
fast
twice.
enough.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Going back to the scrub really quick, I actually use a sugar scrub on my lips once a month to exfoliate my lips.
Yeah, that's really
and
good.
I have a scrub in my shower in a jar that I do on my hands, which really helps with the aging spots.
Do you make
Also, you could also, whatever you
No, I don't make it.
do on your face, you can do on your hands too. Because I know
Yes.
hands age.
Yes.
Like my hands are, I feel like they look way older than I actually am because I never put sunscreen on
They
them. I
always
never
say
do anything with them.
You can if you can't tell someone's age, look at their hands.
Yes.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. And one of our friends used to, and perhaps still does to some extent, sell Mary Kay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they have a really, really good hand cream that I've used, and I still have it. I haven't thought about it now that it's becoming summer, but I would also use it on my face. It works really well on my face.
Oh, nice.
But I use it more in the summer months where I have a maximum exposure. And sometimes I would just you put it on before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's
To hydrate.
Yeah.
It just soaks it in.
That's
so.
nice.
Awesome.
Well, I think we covered all of it.
That's our discussion today. It was great. Thank you so much, Paige.
Yeah, thank you for having
joining us
me.
today.
Thank you
Yeah, be
guys.
sure you check out her Instagram at
Skinby_Paige.
thank you.
There you go.
And we'll have that information on our website as well.